Hi students, today in this video we will learn about the refraction of light through prism. So before we start the refraction of light through prisms, we need to understand what is a prism. A prism is a refracting medium made up of 5 plane surfaces having triangular cross section. Now, refracting medium means it is a medium through which light refract, means the bending of the light. Now, if you look at the diagram on this board, this is the representations of a prism. Here, a prism is made up of 5 plane surfaces. Now, if you look at the diagram, you will see that there are 5 plane flat surface. A, B, C, a triangular surface. A, B, F, C, rectangular surface. E, F, C, D, rectangular surface. A, B, E, D, another rectangular surface. And on the opposite of the prism, D, E, F, a triangular surface. So a prism has 5 plane surface, includes 2 triangular surface and 3 rectangular surface. Now let us understand some of the terms of a prism. A, B, C. Here in the diagram, A, B, C is the principal cross section of prism. We have another here, D, E, F. Now, angle BAC. So if you look at this angle BAC, this angle A is known as the angle of prism. The next is ABED and ABFC. Here, ABED, ABFC. These are the refracting surface of a prism. Now next, AD. The top part of the prism, which is AD, is known as the refracting edge of the prism. BCFE, the bottom part of the prism, that is known as the base of the prism. Now these are some important terms of the prism that we need to understand. When light rays enter from rarer to denser medium, let's see here. This is light ray. This light ray is known as the incident ray. So, the light ray is traveling from the rarer medium to the denser medium. Now, there is a normal here on the reflecting surface. The light ray bends towards the normal. This is the normal and this is the incident ray, and this is the refracted ray. So when the light ray travels from the rarer to denser medium, means from air to the glass, the light bends towards this normal. And this angle is known as the angle of incidence, and this angle is known as the angle of refraction. Now, inside the glass prism, the light travels in a straight line, but in the first case, when the light travels from the rarer to denser, it bends towards this normal. But inside the glass prism, it travels in a straight path because the speed of the light changes here. when the speed of light in the air, the vacuum is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. The light is traveling with a uniform speed in a rarer medium, but once it enters the glass prism, the speed of the light decreases, so it bends towards this normal. And after that, inside the glass prism, it starts traveling in the same path, straight path, because here the speed becomes uniform. Now, in the second case, on the opposite side of the prism, there is a normal here. This is normal. Now, the light is traveling from the denser medium to the rarer medium. So what happened in this case? The light bends away from the normal. So this light ray which comes out from these prisms is known as the emergent ray, which emerge out. This is known as the emergent ray. What we understand here is that in prisms, when the light enters from rarer to denser medium, it bends towards this normal, and when it travels from the denser to rarer medium, it bends away from this normal. Now, this angle made by the emergent ray with the normal is known as the angle of emergence, E. Angle E. This angle made by the incident ray with the normal is known as the angle of incidence, I. Now, if there was no glass prism, let's say if there is no prism, if there was no prisms, then the light would have traveled in a straight path without any deviation or without changing its path. Since there is a change in the path of the light which was supposed to go straight, now it goes bending. So this change of path of the light is known as the deviation of light. Means it was supposed to go straight, it is deviated its path. Now, this deviations of the paths can be determined by extending the incident ray and the emergent ray. Now, if we extend this emergent ray, there is an angle formed between the incident ray and the emergent ray. This small angle is known as the angle of deviation. So this angle of deviations will tell you up to what extent the light has deviated. The light which was going straight, now it changes path, it's bent. So up to what extent the light has bent can be determined by the angle of deviation. Now, there are some factors which affect the angle, which affect the deviations of the light, which means the light which was going straight is going to change its path, it's going to go to different path, bending. So up to what extent it's going to bend depends on some factors. Number one factors, let's say angle of prism. Angle A is the angle of prisms. Now, if you change the angle of prism, increasing the angle of prism, let's say if we increase the angle of prism, angle A, the deviations of the path of the light ray is going to increase. Means the bending of the light is going to increase, is going to extend more. Second thing, if you change the incidence ray, or if you decrease the angle of incidence by lifting up, if you decrease the angle of incidence, for example, the incident ray is traveling in this way. Let's say if we decrease the incident ray let's say this is the incident ray with this small angle, and the bending of the light will be in such a way like this, and it's going to bend like that. So the less the angle of incidence, the greater the angle of emergent and the angle of deviation. So if you change the angle of incidence, the angle of deviation is going to change. The third factor, the light ray changing its path depends on the materials of the prism also. The prism is mapped with what material? So there are three things which has an effect on the angle of which has an effect on the angle of emergence. Now there are three factors we have just discussed now which has an effect on the angle of deviation. First, if you change the angle of incidence, the angle of deviation is going to change. Second thing, if you increase the angle of prism, the angle of deviation is going to change. Third, on the materials of these prisms, what the prisms is made up of depends on the materials of the prisms. The deviations also will depends.
Stay home, stay safe, do it for yourselves, do it for your family, do it for India. Let's break the chain of COVID-19. Hum hum ye kamyab. Jai Hind.